mat, where we discuss the lives of people before or after they get off of the mat. Today, we are joined by Erica Almeida, the accomplished jiu-jitsu fighter, three-time world champion, IBJJF, one-time champion, UAE, JJF, Brazil National Pro. Reached the pinnacle of fighting in the UFC. Welcome to the podcast today. Thank you for coming in.
Thank you, Trey. Thank you for inviting me here.
My pleasure. Now, you are here, and I want to talk about the GBF Global Women's Camp that's coming up. But I want to know, when you were a young girl, where did the fighting spirit come from with jiu-jitsu and sports? Tell me a little bit about that.
I never thought about doing martial art before. I never seen me doing that when I was younger. Actually, I did some other kind of sport. I played basketball, volleyball, and first time I tried a martial arts was when I started to work in a gym as a receptionist. And in that gym, they had jiu-jitsu classes. So first, I got interested just in knowing what was the difference between jiu-jitsu and judo, to just sell the experience at the front desk. And then I got really interested, and then I joined in, and I fell in love with it and never stopped.
I read that while you were working as a receptionist at the gym, you would go in and try each one of those sports. And as you mentioned, to see what the experience is like. Did you instantly know that you were going to be a combat sports professional at that point?
I always loved to compete in every sport that I did. When I was 2 months doing jiu-jitsu, I already had 2 months, I joined for my first tournament. And I did pretty good. I got second place against a lot of experienced fighters, a lot of experienced women, state champion women. So I was like, yeah, I can do that. I can handle that. Mm-hmm. So I've been always competing my whole life. I really enjoy doing in that environment.
Also, you are the first female to kind of compete at that level out of the school that you were at. How does that make you feel to be somewhat of a pioneer for the women that are following your footsteps in jiu-jitsu or being an athlete in combat sports? How does that make you feel to know that you kind of started the trend in the female athlete in your area?
Yeah, usually it was just me, only woman in the class. So some women started to join in, and that was really nice to have some other women in the class too, because we feel more comfortable training with women. It's a nice environment. It makes the environment good for everyone. So I'm glad that I was showing, like, how can I say in English? I was representing women on the mat, so they feel comfortable. Oh, if she can do it, I can join too. I can try it too. So that's really good. It makes me feel good too.
Your professor, he has followed you through all your colored belts. Do you have people that you've trained or coached in the past that are following you the same way that you followed your professor in terms of being promoted?
Yeah, I started to teach classes when I was a purple belt. Mm. So I started to teach the female classes and the kids class. But I didn't have the opportunity to teach mixed classes because I was already a black belt when I joined in Gracie Barra. Mm. So it was a different environment. It was a different way that these professors teach. So I've been growing a lot when I joined Gracie Barra because the mission of Gracie Barra is jiu-jitsu for everyone.
Jiu-jitsu for everyone, yep.
I don't really like the idea that women can teach just kids and female classes. It makes it's a small mind. It's kind of closed mind. You know what I mean? So when I joined Gracie Barra, just a few months later that I joined Gracie Barra, they already asked me to teach mixed classes, regular classes, GB1, GB2 classes. So it wasn't just, come teach to assist the kids, okay, or just to teach the women's. It wasn't like that. So I fall in a completely different environment when I joined Gracie Barra. And that was when I realized what is Jiu-Jitsu about.
When you came to Gracie Barra and they gave you the opportunity to coach and teach the other mixed classes, did you have a renewed passion for the sport and what you were doing in the sport?
For sure, because at first I had a kind of selfish mind, like I had a competitor mind. That is kind of selfish, because you want to improve to yourself, to your accomplishment. And when I joined Gracie Barra, it was kind of strange for me. I felt so good about it.
Well, that's good, yeah.
When I came from another gym, from another school, from another state, so a new black belt in the gym. So I thought that people would smash me to show how this thing works here on the mat. So, and then it was the opposite. Of course, I got a smash on the mat, on the competition training, what is different. That was a good thing too, because I felt that I had tough partners to practice with. But in the regular classes and outside mat, it was such a good environment. People treating me nice. And I was like, is that the way it's supposed to be? So it was a toxic environment at first. Then I changed to a good one. That felt weird for me at first. But I fell in love with it. And I understand the mission of Gracie Barra.
The community at Gracie Barra, I fell in love with the community is because everyone is welcome. To your point, jiu-jitsu for everyone. Did you begin, you were in Brazil when you started with Gracie Barra, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
I was. I lived in São Paulo, Sorocaba City, São Paulo, and I moved to Curitiba, Paraná. And then I met Professor Rodrigo Fajardo, Pimpolho, and also Professor Nika. So I didn't choose that place. I wasn't planning to go to there, but it was exactly what I needed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Do you have brothers, sisters?
Yeah, I have one brother and one sister.
They train jiu-jitsu?
My brother is a purple belt.
Oh, okay.
And my sister is a black belt.
Oh, wow. Wow. Are they heavy in competition as well, or are they just going the teaching route?
They used to, but now my brother is a CrossFit coach, and my sister just practices jiu-jitsu. She's not competing anymore. She enjoys more being around the mat, the jiu-jitsu lifestyle, than competing, but she used to compete a lot too.
Your husband, did you guys meet while doing jiu-jitsu, or was this your childhood sweetheart? How did that come about?
I met him in Curitiba when I joined Gracie Barra.
Oh, okay.
So he's Professor Pimpolho's sons.
He's so quiet, but you could tell he knows what he's doing. He's so quiet.
Yeah.
Is he always that quiet?
He is.
He is?
He is. He is, but he is awesome. He's an awesome professor. Everybody loves his classes. Yesterday he was leading, he's in Brazil right now. Yesterday he was leading the GBF class while Professor Nika was away. And the girls love it. The women love the class, the way he involved everyone. So I'm really proud of him.
Good. Now, let's get back to the UFC, because I am very interested in that. Because, just like I told you before, I didn't know that you fought in the UFC. You had a really good record, 8-3 in mixed martial arts. What made you kind of move away from fighting in the MMA world?
I started fighting MMA when I was when I was a purple belt. I spent 4 years in my purple belt, so it was a lot. And I have a lot of up and downs in my MMA career. I mean, not just inside the cage, but outside the cage too. And somehow it made me tougher. But I don't want that experience anymore. I think I'm tough enough now.
Yeah.
I think I'm tough enough, so I don't need to pass for that experience again. But it was good to improve a lot of technique, develop a lot of skills, so striking skills, wrestling. It was really good. I met some good people, and I also met not good people. So I don't want to be in that environment anymore.
Yeah, I heard that was a tough environment to kind of belong to or operate in. But again, your 8 wins, 7 by submission. So you just get in there and let me just ask this way: was the striking or the grappling your strongest point in fighting in MMA? Did you like the striking?
Yeah, I like the striking, but of course the grappling was my strongest point. So I could I always find a way to bring the fight to the ground and get some submission or even on TKO wins, So I was always trying to find a way. But I was always trying to improve my striking skills. I really like to train boxing. I had a good time training boxing. I like it. But the major thing that made me leave MMA behind, it was because it was really tough to handle all that training and on high level, always cutting wage. I cut a lot of wage. So I weighed 66 kilos and I had to drop to 52 kilos. It was 115. I'm 140 now. It's my normal wage. So I used to cut to 115 pounds. So that's a lot.
Back then, it was very dangerous for athletes to cut the weight.
Still is.
Yeah, well, the science and technology has kind of caught up. When you would have to cut that weight, did it make you kind of perform not at your best, or did you have to compensate when you had to rehydrate and all of that? What was that going into a fight? I have to think that has to be on your mind going into a fight, knowing that you had to prepare yet again to get into the cage and fight. Does that go through your mind, especially when the fight starts and it gets tough?
Yeah. On my first UFC fight, I had an early call. I had just defended my belt on Jungle Fight, and 1 or 2 weeks later, I was like enjoying celebrating my victory I was training, but I was eating as much as I could. So, and my manager called me, there's a UFC fight 20 days from now. And do you want it? Can you accept it or not? So I accept the fight because if I accept, I had a contract with UFC. And if I don't, I didn't. So I got the fight and I have to drop 16.5 kilos in 20 days. So it was a lot. I dehydrated 9 kilos from Thursday to Friday.
And the weigh-in is on Saturdays, right?
The weigh-in is on Friday.
Is it? Oh, wow. So up
and
until
you fight on
point.
Saturday.
Yeah.
So I dehydrated 9 kilos. It means 18, 20 pounds.
Wow.
Just to Thursday to Friday.
Does that change your mental approach going into a fight, having to...
That's a lot. That's a lot to deal with. That's a lot. And also, you get so vulnerable through injuries because you're losing so much weight and your training is still tough, So that's why I wanted to quit MMA. That's a lot. It means too much effort to your body, and I want to spend my life on the mat. I want to be able to get old and be on the mat, you know? So that's why I think I'm gonna just quit the MMA stuff, but I'm sorry, I was staying on martial art, doing jiu-jitsu. That's the thing I love the most. I want to spread the word of jiu-jitsu to all community. So I'm still doing some martial arts. I'm still doing jiu-jitsu, but I left MMA for sure.
Global female camp.
Can't wait.
Global female camp. How special is that for you?
It's so special. It's the first one here in US, and I've been through 2 in Brazil. So that means it works. It's fun, and everybody deserves it.
Yes.
So I'm really excited for the experience. Professor Vivi is doing amazing work.
Amazing.
Professor Nika is flying through Brazil to here to also lead some experiences here. I think the women are gonna love it. You can't explain in words how is it like. It's 3 days of seminars and a lot of experienced women together. I really can't express how it is in words. You gotta be there.
Does it make you feel good that the light is finally starting to shine on the female athlete in the world of jiu-jitsu?
Yeah, I'm really liking. Also in a competitive way, yeah, you have a lot of good female fights happening, and also outside the competition. That was the most people are. Just a few people are on the competition, right? It's good because they stand out, the women's jiu-jitsu and the all jiu-jitsu, but also how jiu-jitsu is developing outside the competition area, you know, providing a good lifestyle for a lot of people to society, because the benefits you get in the mat, you spread it out outside the mat. So I think that's most important thing for me now.
If you think back to 2007 when you were 17, I believe it was, did you see the female in jiu-jitsu being as popular as it is right now? And what do you attribute to women finally being able to be seen on the same stage as the male athlete? Was it a huge difference, or are we just now paying attention to the female athlete?
No, there's a huge difference. And I feel that now the schools and the professors are studying how to deal with a lot of people on the mat, different people on the mat. And that's why Gracie Barra is jiu-jitsu for everyone. So if you're used to teach just one kind of man, because you have a lot of different men on the class too. You have the competitors, you have the teens, the juniors, some people that never done any sports in their life and come to join to the class. So you gotta deal with all of it. So it's different approach. Also for the women's.
Yeah.
So people try to be more professional on jiu-jitsu. So that was the huge difference. They weren't looking just for the women. But if you teach just men, if you look up just for the men, you are missing 50% of your population. Yes. So you could get this in your school. That means profit to your school too. Yes. So it's business. So I think the looking more professionally to the sports also made also may bring women in. You know.
You think about the women on the outside watching their kids, train jiu-jitsu. And since I've been training jiu-jitsu for the past 4 years, I've started to see the moms starting to get on the mat with the kids and training with the kids and falling in love with the sport as well. Does that make you feel good? Do you solicit the women to join and try it out?
Always. A lot.
Yep.
There's some that I keep poking you, come on to the class, let's step into the class. And I always try to do the GBF class along with some kids class. So I take advantage that the moms are already in the school to join to the mat. So you don't, you make the logistic works better, you know. And I try to explain to make them realize the benefits they can get from practicing jiu-jitsu along with their kids, along with their family. So it provides a better connection with the, you know what I'm talking about, yeah?
Absolutely. So with GBF coming up, are you seeing a lot of participation specifically in Peoria where the female athlete or the moms want to come and participate in the experience?
Yeah.
Are you getting a lot of traction?
Yeah, I really try to bring them to the mat. And now my goal is trying to bring them to the GBF camp experience. So they will see a lot of women. They are going to see coaches, professors, and also women like them. Because in Brazil, I used to teach at Grace Barra Ecovelli. And I taught the regular classes and also and I started to do the GBF class there. And I just have a few students, a lot of moms outside the mat, but they really like me, like the idea there was a female professor leading the class. The men were like behaving, paying attention to me, okay? So they respect me as a professor. And they really enjoyed that. They are proud to say that. But they didn't see them on me because they think, oh, she's younger. She's a competitor. I'm not like her. So wasn't enough just being a woman stepping on the mat leading a class.
Well, you look at
and that was a challenge. So once I got one mom in, so the other ones came into I got like 5 coming along because they see them on they see them on that mom the first step in, because first they were like, I'm working a lot, I have some work from take care of the house, the kids, to you know what I mean? So they were like, I'm thinking I'm too old and I'm not capable of doing that. But once one mom stepped in, then almost all came along. So it was a great experience. They were having fun. They were getting more confident, empowered, and that's awesome. I'm so proud of it.
With the GBF, the global camp, do you see it growing? From when it first started? There were 2 in Brazil already, right? Do you see it growing event after event?
Yeah, and it's growing fast. The 2 first one were in the Floripa headquarters from Master Carlos Gracie, and the third one are going to be there too. It's going to be on March with 300 women. With the Professor Nika and Professor Vivi start to plan the GBF camp a year earlier. And in 1 month, all the tickets were sold out.
Oh, wow. Good for you guys.
In 1 month, the tickets were sold out. So, yeah, next one, they have to find another big place for sure.
When you sit down and you talk to Professor Vivi and Professor Nika, do you share that excitement? Do you get some of that excitement from them and like, hey, we're going to support this even more just by seeing their enthusiasm, the hard work that they put into it, grabbing female athletes globally to participate? Do you kind of feed off of that energy?
Of course, sure. And that's what the GBF camp is about, because you have that environment, that energy, not just from them, but all other women's, all the other professors from everywhere, all ages. And so That's it's a really good feeling. It's a really good environment. You feel inspired a lot.
Have you guys put on the roadmap for the next one where it will be?
Where is it going to be the next one?
The next one, yeah.
I've heard Professor Vivi saying it's gonna be on the airport, Florianopolis Airport. It's a huge place to do some events like that.
Wow, I think that's going to be very special because, as you mentioned, as you guys continue with the GBF Global Women's Camp, I think it's going to attract so many more people. Speaking of attracting people, what countries are we going to be seeing on the 24th that are coming to the global?
Here in U.S.? Well, a lot of people coming from Brazil. I know a lot of people coming. And maybe some people from Europe too. But the most nice thing about it that we inspired some other schools, other continents to do that too. So GP Europe are doing their own GPF camp too. So the people.
But that's not global though, right?
Yeah, it is.
It is?
You
Oh,
are
okay.
allowed to join in, of
okay,
course.
okay.
But it's a huge travel, right? You know, so
And expensive.
not everyone can make it. So that's really nice that people are doing that. The GB is doing that. GB events doing that all over the world.
I think it's great. I understand. You know, I have a mother, I have sisters, and I understand the inclusion in a lot of things in life, not just jiu-jitsu, but in life. I think it's great to see what you guys are doing and incorporating jiu-jitsu for the female athlete. Not that it's different, but it is different. But I think that it's a male-dominated sport, and I think it's great that you guys are starting to highlight more and more female athletes. Yourself, decorated athlete, Professor Vivi, Professor Nika, decorated athlete. I think you guys are a great example for the female, not only the competitors, but the moms that are sitting around enjoying the GB Gracie Barra as well. I think that's really great. Kids. Passion with kids, coaching kids.
I love it, especially the tiny champions and little champions. I think this is the class I like the most because they are really shy, really afraid stepping on the mat, and you see them developing some skills, some confidence with the self-defense and anti-bully program. It's really amazing to see them growing and developing these skills.
That's one thing that I really love about Gracie Barra. They put the time and effort into holding classes like the anti-bullying, something that's very important in the world today because we don't know how to be nice sometimes. Do you see a child that first starts and then look 2 or 3 months later that are really just growing into themselves in terms of self-defense?
A lot. See this the whole time, and we don't even have to wait 3 months to see that. Just awake class, you can see the difference. This week, a girl stepping on the mat for the first time. She's 4 years old. She started to cry just to stepping on the mat. The class was even started, but she stayed there the whole time. She didn't join into the club, but she stayed there. And then on her second class, she was moving forward. And the most cutest thing is the 2 girls came into her, calling her, "Do you want to join us? Come on, let's work it together. My name is, what's your name?" Trying to bring her in, and nobody asked them to do that.
Well,
so
that's because
it came from them. So it was really cute.
That's because of the leadership of people like you that rubs off on people and builds that inclusive kind of spirit. I think that's directly coming from the mat because those 2 girls themselves were her once before. I think it's great to see the kids get along like that. I was a coach in Peoria as well, and I love coaching the kids. I can name a lot of kids that I still in contact with, but you're right, the kids, it's special for me because I wish that I would have started jiu-jitsu around that age. So I'm living through them.
Yeah, because you develop some skills that you can't have from everywhere. You know, personal skills, social skills on the mat. You don't learn just how to choke people out.
But you do learn that.
That too, but it's way more than that. So you develop a lot of social skills too. And when you were a professor, when you were a coach, you gotta lead by example.
Yes.
So I can't tell you something, tell you what you should do, and I do the opposite. So I gotta my speech and my actions have to match.
Yes. Yes.
So I think that's the most important thing when you are a leader. You know, you lead by example.
Lead by example. I find that to be the case with pretty much all the professors around the valley. Everyone leads by that example. And you can tell that the love of jiu-jitsu just burns inside of them. Another thing that people may not realize, a lot of the professors that we do have around the valley are very young. So they have grown up in this sport. So they know what they're doing. And to see the kids kind of joining in with that coach, I really, really enjoy that. Tell me about your fight coming up.
Woohoo, I'm so excited
Tell
too.
me, your opponent, have you ever faced her before?
Yeah, I know Professor Glaucia Braga. She's awesome. I love her. And she's been on my corner a couple times.
Oh, really?
Too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, when I used to travel to fight in Rio de Janeiro, because she lived there.
Okay.
And she was a professor there. So now she's here in U.S. But some trips I used to do alone to go for some tournaments. So I didn't have a coach with me. So that's why she stepped in and got in my corner. So I won the Gracie Pro, the Absolute Division. She was in my corner. The Brazilian Nationals final, she was also in my corner. So we have a good time together. And now we're providing a show to you all, for sure. It's going to be a tough match. I know she's really tough competitor.
She's
not
decorated as well,
she's
right?
not just a professor. She's a really tough competitor, too. So it's going to be an awesome fight for sure. I'm pretty excited for that.
She, where is she at? She's in...
GB Chantilly, I guess.
Okay, all right. I am very excited to watch that. I think I am going to... It's on Flow Grappling, right?
It's going to be on GB Online.
GB Online.
Yeah, you can get your tickets to be there. I'd like you to ask to put the QR code or the link here for the tickets. And also the link for the pay-per-view that is on GB Online. So it's going to be broadcast by GB Online. So I want to ask you and everybody who's watching this to support this event, this GBF Camp Super Fights also, because we need to show that it's worth it. Because I'll tell you an example. In Brazil, they did an event. Do you know BJJ Stars?
No.
It's a huge BJJ event in Brazil, a huge one. They pay good prices for the athletes. And for the first time ever, they had a female GP on the event. There were a couple super fights, men super fights too, but the main event was the female female GP. And some people start criticizing, saying, this event, no, it's going to be nice, just a lot of female main event. And Professor Nika was pissed. She was like, no, we're going to be there. So she bought 100 tickets. She rented 2 buses. She made some pink T-shirts with saying stamp here saying, "When a woman wins, everybody wins," something like that. I tried to translate, but and we bought the tickets. And we traveled 6-7 hours because we were in Curitiba and the fight was in São Paulo, another state. So we got the bus, go straight to the event. After the event got finished, we drove back just to support that event that was providing that the chance to the women that not a lot of events have the courage or the purpose of doing that, and also there was just no one GB athlete fighting on the event, so we came there for support women. It was really nice, and you see we all in pink in the sitting around the mat.
The mat, yeah.
The men's were wearing pink too and celebrating with the fights. It was awesome. There were awesome fights. So we gotta do the same now. To show people, to show the athletes, to show everyone, to show the community that women can do awesome fights too. They are very technical. They're awesome doing the fights. So show your support by being there, and for some reason you can't be there, get the pay-per-view, share on your social media, tag GBF Camp and the athletes, so you are spreading the word, spreading the word to Jiu-Jitsu community too.
Absolutely. Professor, thank you so much. I know this month is a busy month for you, competition training, and then you have the global GB Global Female Camp coming up, along with the fight. I wish you good luck in your fight. I'm rooting for you to have a good outcome, and more importantly, having a good outcome with the other Global Female Camp. I will make sure that I put all the links in, because I want to make sure that I do my part in supporting you guys. I know how hard you guys work on my end because I see it. So I definitely will make sure that we support from Beyond the Mat podcast, that we support your event coming up.
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you to spread the word of Jiu-Jitsu outside the mat too.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Thank you for watching this episode of Beyond the Mat. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And don't forget to check out episode 16, which is now available. Thank you.